Yo, book nerds, I apologize for my voice. I lost my voice completely this week. It made teaching very interesting because I literally could not talk above a whisper. I seriously had to teach like this. And so my voice is still kind of off. We're not all the way back to normal, but this is definitely an improvement. But this is the only day I can record. I've put it off too long, hoping my voice would come back, and I need to either record as is or I just won't have a video this week because I have nothing else recorded. So it is what it is. We just have to deal with it, right? It happens. So my voice, I apologize for it being so scratchy. It just, yeah, I don't know why I lost it. It's just gone. I read The Wild Robot Escapes by Peter Brown. This is the sequel to The Wild Robot. I'm assuming you've read the first book if you're watching this video. So there may be spoilers for the first book. And this was super light and easy and fun. It's middle grade. We're still following Roz, and Roz has now gone back to the factory to get fixed up, and then she's kind of refurbished and sold as a robot to help a farmer. And so she goes to work on this farm, and the whole time she's pretty much just acting because she wants everyone to think she's a normal robot and she doesn't want to get destroyed. But really, she's not a normal robot. She just wants to get back home to her island and get back home to Brightville. And it's not as good as the first book, but it was light, easy, fun. I still had a good time. And so, it was a just easy read. It's middle grade, right? I feel like this one, more than the first book, this book really digs into autonomy and what constitutes as life. Does Roz have her own autonomy? She's a robot. Does she actually think? Does she have her own life? Or is she just a tool to be used on this farm? Essentially, she's a robot, so she's a product that was bought. She's owned by the farmer. So, there's definite parallels to, slavery, except obviously she's a robot, not a person, but at what point does she have her own autonomy? And I think this is a really interesting thing to be talking about because in this age of AI and such advancements in robotics and stuff, these could be really important questions in the near future. Is a machine property? Is a robot property? Or are they their own entity? When machines are turned off, is that just shutting them down? Is that morally okay? Or is it killing a living being? Can robots die in the same sense that people die? Would it be considered murder to turn off Roz? That's really something to think about, right? This book is different than the first in the sense that this feels more like a quest. There's a lot of walking in this one. It's still very episodic. Each chapter is kind of its own little story, but there is this overarching story of Roz trying to get back to her island. I did really miss the island setting, so I think that kind of took away from this book for me and why I really like the first one better. There also was a lot of plot conveniences. But again, it's middle grade, so I mean, that's kind of to be expected sometimes. But even so, I felt some things were okay, that would not happen. That's such an obvious plot convenience. But I mean, I'm not going to go super in depth, but you can read it and see what you think for yourself. I don't want you to get me wrong, though, because I really did still enjoy my time with Roz in this story. And there were many deep questions asked, I feel in this book. And there were also a lot of really good quotes. I'll give you a couple quotes that I liked. On page 97, Roz is talking about potentially having her memory erased, and like what that would mean. And she asks, but without her memories, who would she be? She's considering erasing her memories because she misses Brightville, right? And she's like, I could erase my memories and I could forget everything and go on living my life here on this farm. But Roz decides that no, she wants to keep her memories of her old life. And I think that's really something that's relatable. I mean, Roz is a robot, so sometimes it's hard to relate to her. But people, like, personally, I know that I've gone through hard things, and sometimes it's like, man, it'd be easier if I could just like erase that part of my life. But everything happens for a reason, right? And it makes us who we are today. So in the end, like, even bad things, even things that like make us sad, they're all okay. Like it's okay to feel those feelings, and like we should not want to erase parts of our life that are hard, but still hold on to the good memories, right? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I worded that very well, but I related to Roz in that situation, I guess. Then there was another part of the story, and there are some kids on the farm, and they're like talking to Roz, and they realize that she's like not like any other robot that they've met. And one of the kids says, like, are you defective? And Roz says, I do not feel defective. I feel different. Is being different the same as being defective? And the girl, her name is Jaya, she says, I don't think so, or else we're all a little defective. And again, relatable. Like, I have things that make me different that maybe, like, growing up I got bullied for, like, people think is weird, that makes me different, but I don't think that makes me wrong or defective or anything. It just makes me me. And as an adult, like, I'm more proud of those things that make me different than I was when I was a kid. I think we all need to like learn to accept ourselves and others for our differences, and not think of others as like defective or weird because they don't follow what we think is normal. And then there's like in the middle of the book, there's this scene where like Roz is like thinking about how people eat animals, and Roz has lots of friends that are animals, right, back on the island. And so I was worried that this scene was going to get all like, we shouldn't eat animals on me, like we should be vegetarians. I was afraid it would get like all eating animals is bad on me, but it didn't go there. So I appreciated that. Roz like decided like, no, it's okay that people eat animals eat other animals, and that's just part of life, it's normal. And so like I appreciated that discussion as well. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about this book. It was light, easy, fun. I enjoyed it. And if you liked the first one, I think you would get something out of the sequel as well. So check it out. And if you have read it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I have now finished the third book in the trilogy, so watch for this review soon to come. Hopefully my voice will be better by the time I record this one. Again, I am sorry that my voice has been so bad for this video. Hopefully you stuck around and like suffered through my horrible voice right now. I apologize again. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a lovely week. I will talk to you next Monday. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for talking books with me.